I'm going to show you how you can save space on your hard drive if you're an Unreal Engine developer. If you're making C++ projects, you'll notice in your project folder that most of the space is taken up by intermediates and binaries. If you go to the project folder, you'll be able to see the folder binaries, intermediates, and saved. These three folders can be deleted because they are generated every time you compile your project in Visual Studio. This can be the difference between your project taking up 1 to 2 gigabytes and some chunky boys taking 12 gigabytes. This is great if you want to store your project, especially older projects that you're maybe not using day in and day out. If you want to then use that project in future, you just right click on the U project file in the project folder and generate Visual Studio project files. Then when you build in Visual Studio, you'll notice that the saved, the intermediates and the binaries will be generated again for you. Another thing you should consider is how many versions of the engine that you've got installed. If you're no longer using a version of the project, you can uninstall it, but also you might want to check in the options. In here, you can see all the different components that you've got installed for it. Now, if you're not going to be making your game and building it for Android or iOS, and you're just testing something on a PC, you might want to uninstall some of the target platforms as I've done here, as that'll save you around 5 or 6 gigabytes per version of Unreal as well. Also, if you've been debugging engine code and you installed the editor symbols for debugging previously, if it's an older version of the engine, consider removing this as it takes 30 gigabytes per Unreal Engine installation. Another piece of advice is to upgrade your projects to the most recent version of the Unreal Engine if you don't have any good reason not to. You can do this by launching the version of the engine that you want to upgrade to. Once you're on the Select or Create New Project screen, head over to the More button and that'll show you all of your projects. You can see which projects are not this current version of the engine by the thumbnail. They have a little number at the bottom to indicate what version of the engine this was last built and opened in. So if I wanted to convert this project to the newer version of Unreal, I go ahead and click Open Project after selecting it, and it'll give me an option then to convert this project to the newer version. If you know what you're doing, you can go in and you can convert it in place so it doesn't make a copy of the project. But if you're new to this, use the Open a Copy to get used to the process, because you might need to make some code changes in order to get things to compile before it opens in the new version of the engine. If you no longer have any projects that use an older version of the engine, you're then safe to remove that version of the engine and save yourself some more space. So hopefully that's been helpful for you if you're an Unreal Engine developer. I know personally taking part in game jams and making a lot of test practice projects that I end up running out of hard drive space pretty quick as an Unreal Engine developer. But let me know if it's been helpful for you or if you're interested in any other Unreal Engine guides. I've been Honest Dan.